Today, I want to talk about something that might feel uncomfortable, but it's a conversation that is becoming increasingly necessary in the age of smartphones, social media, and digital intimacy. Our phones have become an extension of ourselves. They hold our thoughts, our memories, our connections, and sometimes, our vulnerabilities. And with this reality comes a question that strikes at the heart of trust, love, and human relationships: is it ever okay to go through your partner's phone? This question isn't as simple as a yes or no answer. It's layered, it's emotional, and it challenges our understanding of trust, privacy, and respect. Today, I want to take you on a journey into self-reflection, understanding, and empowerment. By the end of this talk, my hope is that you will not only have a clearer perspective on this question but also walk away with practical insight on how to cultivate trust, love, and emotional safety in your relationships. The power of trust. Let's start with trust. Trust is the foundation of every healthy relationship. It's the invisible thread that holds two people together, even when they are miles apart, both physically and emotionally. Trust is sacred. When you choose to trust someone, you are saying, "I believe in you. I believe in us. I believe in our bond." Now, consider what happens when that trust is questioned. The moment you feel the urge to go through your partner's phone, there is often a deeper story beneath it. Maybe it's insecurity. Maybe it's fear. Or maybe there's a past experience where trust was broken, and the wounds haven't fully healed. That urge is rarely about the phone itself, it's about how safe and secure you feel in the relationship. But here's the truth: going through your partner's phone may provide temporary answers, but it rarely provides lasting peace. It may reveal secrets, messages, or evidence of behavior you weren't expecting, but at what cost? Your relationship's foundation might begin to crack under the weight of suspicion, even if nothing wrong exists. The line between privacy and transparency. Privacy is another cornerstone of any healthy relationship. Your partner's phone is a private space, just like their journal or their personal thoughts. Respecting that privacy is not about hiding things from one another, it's about recognizing that each of us is an individual with a right to personal boundaries. Transparency, on the other hand, is about openness. It's about willingly sharing aspects of your life with someone you love because you trust them and you want them to understand you. It's a delicate balance. You don't need to hand over your phone, your passwords, or your every message to prove your loyalty. True transparency is demonstrated through actions, consistency, and honesty. So, when we ask ourselves, is it ever okay to go through your partner's phone, we need to examine our motivations. Are we acting out of love, concern, or fear? Are we seeking clarity, or are we seeking control? Understanding our own motivations is the first step toward making a decision that aligns with integrity and respect. When it might feel okay. Let's explore a scenario. Suppose you notice behaviors that consistently suggest dishonesty. Your partner is hiding conversations, being evasive, or acting secretively in ways that affect your emotional safety. In such situations, you might feel justified in looking at their phone. But even then, it's not just about snooping, it's about protecting yourself and your emotional well-being. Even so, I want to stress this: approaching the situation from a place of confrontation or surveillance rarely leads to positive outcomes. Relationships thrive on communication, not on secret investigations. If you feel compelled to look through your partner's phone, consider first: can you have an honest conversation? Can you express your feelings and concerns openly, without judgment or accusation? Often, what feels like the right move, checking the phone, can be replaced by a conversation that strengthens the bond instead of undermining it. The cost of betraying trust. Now, let's talk about the cost. When you go through your partner's phone without permission, something profound happens. Trust is eroded. Even if you find nothing, your partner may feel violated, hurt, and disrespected. It creates a silent barrier between you, a barrier that is far harder to rebuild than the anxiety that drove you to look in the first place. Think of trust as a vase. Once cracked, it can sometimes be repaired, but the cracks remain. Each act of betrayal, intentional or not, leaves a mark. And in relationships, marks accumulate. Over time, they can transform love into suspicion, intimacy into distance, and connection into resentment. This is why I urge you: weigh the cost before you act. Ask yourself, is finding the answer on this phone worth the risk of damaging the trust that my partner and I share? More often than not, the answer is no. Building healthy boundaries. Instead of going through a phone, focus on building healthy boundaries and habits. Here are some practical steps. 1. Open communication. Express your concerns honestly and respectfully. Use "I feel" statements instead of accusations. For example, say, "I feel anxious when I can't reach you, and I want to talk about how we can address that," instead of "I think you're hiding something from me." 2. Mutual agreements. Establish boundaries together. Decide what is private, what is shared, and how you both can maintain transparency without violating privacy. 3. Self-reflection. Often, insecurity is a reflection of our own fears, not necessarily our partner's behavior. Spend time understanding your triggers and work on self-confidence and emotional resilience. 4. Trust-building activities. Engage in activities that naturally build trust. Honest conversations, shared projects, emotional check-ins, and quality time together. These steps create a culture of trust and respect in your relationship. They reduce the urge to snoop and replace fear with understanding. The importance of emotional honesty. Emotional honesty is another key factor. Sometimes we want to go through a partner's phone because we fear what we might not know. But here's the powerful truth. Emotional honesty is far more revealing than any message or chat log. When both partners are emotionally honest, when feelings, fears, desires, and doubts are openly shared, there is little need to invade privacy. Emotional honesty creates intimacy. Phones do not. Ask yourself, what am I really seeking? Am I looking for evidence, or am I seeking reassurance, love, and understanding? If it's the latter, emotional honesty, empathy, and heartfelt conversation are the answers, not secret searches. When boundaries are broken. Now, I want to acknowledge a reality. Sometimes, boundaries are broken. Sometimes, partners lie, cheat, or manipulate. In these situations, your feelings of suspicion are valid, and your need for clarity is legitimate. But even then, consider the approach carefully. You are not powerless. You have the right to protect yourself, to ask questions, and to set boundaries, but invading privacy should never be the first step. Instead, focus on observable patterns, open dialogue, and your own emotional safety. If trust has been broken repeatedly, it may be a sign that the relationship itself needs to be reassessed. Remember, seeking answers through deception rarely heals wounds, it often deepens them. Personal growth and empowerment. Here's a perspective that is often overlooked. Your reaction to the urge to snoop can be an opportunity for personal growth. When you feel the impulse to check a partner's phone, pause. Reflect. Ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? What do I need to feel secure? How can I communicate this without violating trust? By transforming fear into curiosity, and impulse into dialogue, you empower yourself. You choose integrity over suspicion, courage over fear, and connection over secrecy. This is the essence of personal growth, learning to navigate uncertainty with grace, patience, and emotional intelligence. The role of forgiveness and understanding. Forgiveness is another critical ingredient. In relationships, mistakes will happen, sometimes yours, sometimes your partner's. If you have ever snooped in the past, acknowledge it. Learn from it. Communicate openly about why it happened and how it made you feel. Similarly, if your partner's actions have triggered doubt or fear, approach the situation with understanding rather than judgment. Compassion opens doors that suspicion and accusation close. Forgiveness does not mean ignoring boundaries, it means choosing love and trust as guiding principles. So, let me speak directly to you now. In a world where privacy is often compromised, and trust can feel fragile, you have a choice. You can choose fear and suspicion, or you can choose courage and faith in your relationship. You can choose to snoop, or you can choose to communicate. You can choose temporary certainty, or lasting peace. Every time you choose trust over control, honesty over secrecy, love over fear, you are building something extraordinary. You are cultivating a relationship that thrives not because of surveillance or oversight, but because of mutual respect, emotional safety, and deep, unwavering trust. Remember this, the strength of a relationship is not measured by how much you know about your partner's phone. It is measured by how deeply you know and respect each other's hearts. The connection that lasts is not in the messages you uncover, it's in the moments you share, the conversations you have, and the love you nurture. In conclusion, is it ever okay to go through your partner's phone? The answer is, almost never. The exceptions are rare and come only in situations where safety is at risk or repeated boundaries are violated, but even then, communication should be the first path. The true path to a strong, healthy, and fulfilling relationship lies in trust, respect, transparency, and emotional courage. So, I challenge you today, resist the urge to snoop. Instead, cultivate trust. Embrace honest communication. Protect your emotional integrity. Honor both your boundaries and your partner's. And most importantly, remember that love, real love, thrives not on surveillance, but on faith, vulnerability, and the courage to connect deeply without fear. Thank you for listening. If you take one thing away from this today, let it be this: love deeply, trust fully, and communicate bravely. Everything else will follow.